तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं
भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं
ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं
ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं
येन माम् उपयान्ति ते।
येन माम् उपयान्ति ते।
मां च अव्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीत्यैतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते।
Unfortunately, most people who call themselves business owners are actually not business.
निर्माणमोह जितसङ्गदोष अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसमज्ञैर्गच्छन्ति अमूढाः पदम् अव्ययं तत्। ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनः षष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति। ब्रह्मभूतः प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम्। भक्त्या माम् अभिजानाति यावान् याश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तत् अनन्तरम्। मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैष्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे। सर्वधर्मान् परित्याज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः।
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you for being with us. Kindly give us 1 or 2 more minutes. The other meeting in which His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj was addressing got extended by a few minutes. That's why there's a delay in him coming into this meeting. We request you to kindly bear with us for another minute or so. Hare Krishna, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Can I be heard?
Yes, Maharaj.
Maharaj, Danda Pranam.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Good
Krishna,
evening
Maharaj.
to all of you. Welcome.
Thank you, Maharaj.
I hope everybody is keeping fit and fine. And I welcome you to this Sunday evening program, which I explained to you is a Sunday love feast program started by Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, where we share love of Krishna. Prabhupada said we should do the greatest charity. The greatest charity that human welfare is to introduce everybody to Krishna, give them love of Krishna, have them take some little prasadam and chant Krishna's names along everybody together. And that will be the greatest benefit for the spirit soul. So in memory of that Prabhupada started in 1966 or so in America regularly. All over the world on Sundays, people get together and perform Hari Kirtan, hear from Bhagavad Gita, and mix with each other and discuss Krishna consciousness and devotional service. And it's a weekly splash get together after all the week full of hair splitting, head splitting things that they have to do for everybody. So I'd like to welcome you on this Sunday program in memory of Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So I know that many of you are students of Bhagavad Gita, and you're also pursuing many different types of professions and activities, and you're balancing all these things together. And the Bhagavad Gita very distinctly speaks about many things. And I want to choose today a not very common shloka, but immediately succeeding a very famous shloka. So I'll do the famous shloka and the succeeding shloka, which I think is potent and has got a lot of information in it. That shloka is from chapter 4, text 34, which is a famous shloka, Tad Vidhi Pranipatena. And then shloka 35, Yajñatva na punarmoham. Right? So we shall read these two shlokas, we shall chant and try to recollect something about this. Okay? Text 34 from Bhagavad Gita as it is. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tatpadarshinaha. If you want to chant with me, I will chant each line once and then you can follow. After I do it once more, I'll do it once more on my own. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tatpadarshinaha. Let's do that one after the other. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tatpadarshinaha. More. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tatpadarshinaha. Thank you. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. You can read it if you don't have the book on the screen. Translation: just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire for him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Purport: the path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, the mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Enquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, enquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees a genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind towards the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. And the next shloka, Yajñatvana punarmoham yevam yasyasi pandava yena bhutani asheshani drakshasi atmanyato mayi. I will read the translation alone. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme. Or in other words, they are mine. They are mine means not you and me, Krishna. It's Krishna who is speaking. So, Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmaye Shri Gurave Namaha. Namahom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What an important shloka this is. Very, very important. So here, Krishna is giving key instruction. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Prashna means to inquire, question. Seva means to render service. It looks like some sort of a quid pro quo. You give something, I give you something. But that is not the mood here. In the education institution of today, we have to pay a fees. We have to attend the sessions. We have to clock certain level of credit or whatever. And the person who is a paid teacher comes and teaches. Whether you understand or not, actually, he doesn't bother because that is his profession. Some teachers are good, they really want to teach. Very rare nowadays. But they do their profession, they will say something and they will leave. And if you have any questions, you may ask. Otherwise, you can always go on YouTube, you can go on internet and you can get all the stuff. And you can even see lectures now from MIT and Harvard and everything. And you can learn a huge amount of things, information. So it's very disconnected. I give money and you teach me. It's a very low form of a relationship between the teacher and the student. Actually, very low form of relationship. But here what Krishna is saying is, it is not that the teacher is asking you for service. Prashna sevaya. It is for your good that you are serving him. Because only if you serve him in humility, will you become purified enough to understand what he is telling you. Knowledge of the absolute truth, Krishna, is not something simply you can capture, like Prabhupada is saying, simply by reading on your own all the Shastra, reading the Bhagavad Gita, mugging up the shlokas and doing all these things. Doesn't mean you'll have the understanding. It is locked up in a very subtle password. You may know even all the shlokas by heart, but that doesn't mean you have the understanding. That doesn't mean you can deliberate and think about it and do what is necessary. So you must serve, very important. Menial servant you should become. It's mentioned. Become a menial servant. And the Guru will see your humility and your genuineness and your desire to acquire this knowledge. And he will give it to you in full and explain it to you and give blessings that you may understand it. That's when it clicks, you understand. It's from both sides they desire. It is very important to know that the Guru desires that my student should understand. I bless him with his understanding. That's very important to know. Only then the understanding is released by Krishna from within the heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattah smritirjnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedyo vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, I am situated in everybody's heart. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So the sincerity of the person who wants to know the absolute truth, the sincerity of that person in rendering service to you in humility and surrender, that is what earns the person knowledge of Krishna. That is explained here very nicely in the purport by Prabhupada. Not that if you give money to the Guru, he will transfer. You can download this. Here is a USB drive, or it's on cloud. You can download it now that you paid me money. It's not so cheap. You can't get it so cheaply. Money can never buy this. Devotion, sincerity, humility, service can get you this knowledge. That is why all these great personalities who are Tattvadarshi, who know the truth, they are not accessible by anything material. They are in the forest somewhere. And they are very happy in themselves. They are realizing many, many things about the absolute truth. They don't need a teaching profession. They don't want any support from you, money from you, or anything for that matter. They're not dependent on anybody. Therefore, since their values are so high and not dependent on anything material, the kings would go and beg and pray to them. Please confer your blessings on me. Somehow I want to attract your mercy on me. Because you cannot be bought off with money, with that, with this, or anything. Right? So that is the system of getting knowledge of Krishna. The student is sincere, humble, very eager to learn and render service. The Guru, he is seeing that the student is very sincere and he is praying to Krishna and he is sincerely giving this person knowledge. And I bless you to understand this. The teacher should think, my student should learn. And it happens. And it is not only in scripture, even in the modern world, they have found that. You see, many years back, they did this experiment. It's called the Pygmalion effect in psychology. The Oak School experiment, very famous, I think in UK or in the US. I'm sorry, it's in the US. Harvard School, Harvard College. From there was one Dr. Rosenthal who did this experiment. He had this understanding that it's called, Pygmalion effect is called expectations from the teacher of the student. If you have a high expectation from the student in terms of learning and everything, the student will perform like that. That's the experiment he did, and he proved that's true. If the teacher feels this man will learn and he will do his PhD and he will become a master in that knowledge, he can do it, he can do it, he can do it. If he thinks like that and teaches him, the student does become like that. This is in the material world. And he did this experiment in various schools and proved that it is true. It's called Pygmalion because in my younger days, I did this. I don't know whether people know. My brother did this. George Bernard Shaw's play was called Pygmalion. It's a beautiful play. The name Pygmalion comes from the Greek story. It's a Greek story of a sculptor called Pygmalion who carves a very beautiful woman. He's a very good sculptor. And the woman is so beautiful, he falls in love with his own statue that he has created. It's very amazing. It's so beautiful that he starts talking to her and expressing the love to her. She's a statue. And the story goes that he goes and prays to God of love, Aphrodite. And he prays to Aphrodite and says, please bring her to life. And Aphrodite blesses him. Okay, you're so much absorbed in this own creation of yours. I give you that boon. And that statue becomes a real woman. And he marries her. And they have children and they live a happy life. It's rather like this. It's a story. It's a Greek historical story. So it is that he falls in love with his own creation. After that, this book written by Pygmalion, written by George Bernard Shaw, is what became a very famous movie called My Fair Lady. It's a big hit in those days. In my school days, I remember it had come and was screened, and my brother's batch that did that play in English literature of Pygmalion, George Bernard Shaw, the whole class went to see that movie, My Fair Lady. You know, some famous actress, Audrey Hepburn, and somebody now. I've seen it in my younger days. It is the story of a person who challenges another person, English professor, and said, I'll make this rustic local village type of a flower girl become the best of English speaking, sophisticated person. And it's a challenge. So he goes and picks up somebody from the marketplace, this flower girl. She's a real Cockney accented, low-class lady. He brings her and teaches her English, how to pronounce, changes everything. She goes through one hell of a time. And she becomes an amazing high-class lady. And then once he has won the bet that I did it, then he disposes of her off. By the time she has fallen in love with his teacher, and he also has got attached to her unknowingly. So when she goes, he feels very empty. And then he comes to know that I've fallen in love with her, and she also understands I can't be without you. So it's something like a Pygmalion. I created you and I fall in love with you, like that sculptor. That movie goes like that. But the effect here is in psychology. The effect is that similar way, the teacher creates that wonderful student and understanding in him. And because that student has got the understanding, the teacher feels so obliged to give him all the mercy necessary out of great affection for him and for his learning of the absolute truth. So here very nicely expresses the teacher-student relationship with Guru and Sishya is not an ordinary thing. It involves Krishna in the center because both are trying to learn about and understand and convey and communicate the absolute truth, Krishna. Tattvadarshi means a person who knows about it, understood it, and is connected with Krishna through a process. And he is explaining to the student, this is how it is. And you must also do like this. And if you do it, you'll also get it this way. So it's of great interest. And for this, they don't take money. They don't expect anything. It's the duty of everybody to give Krishna consciousness to others. That's the business of life. And all these Brahmanas would do this all the time and not ask for anything. They just depend on the Lord. Because I am getting the maximum pleasure by teaching you absolute truth. I think it's the greatest fulfilling experience for a person when he communicates Krishna consciousness to another person. He sees that person understanding it. He sees him become serious about it. And he sees Krishna giving him realizations from within his heart. And they become serious about this. That is the greatest pleasure to watch. Wow, it's conveyed. Become serious. He's taking it. He's given up his this, and has adopted this like this. He's having challenges, but he's very interested. And in this way, when he makes progress, the teacher becomes very happy. Prabhupada was asked, what will please you most? And then Prabhupada asked, what will please the Guru most? And each of his disciples said, we will distribute maximum number of Bhagavad Gita for everybody. We should do our chanting very nicely. We should do our sadhana nicely. We should look after ISKCON and manage it very well. We should expand the preaching. We should all these things. Then Prabhupada told them, the Guru is most pleased when he sees his disciple making progress towards love of Krishna. All other things he may do, he does it for this purpose. So the final end is that he is developing love for Krishna, understanding the absolute truth Krishna, and is progressing in his understanding. That makes the Guru very pleased. So this is Guru-disciple relationship. And the disciple wants to do anything and everything for his Guru because he has given him the most valuable thing, Krishna. Right? So he is willing to serve him. There's a story of Narottam Das and Lokanath Swami. Narottam Das was told that your Guru is predicted to be Lokanath Swami. So Lokanath Swami in Vrindavan, he had said, no, I am not qualified to take anybody as disciple. I am, not at all qualified to teach anybody. I am not a good example at all. He was a very humble person. He was staying in a small cottage and chanting japa and reading and doing a little bit of something, doing madhukari, begging from somebody some little atta, some this thing and that thing. He will make a little dough, make some chapati on the fire and eat it up and keep quiet with some little sabji. Yeah, that's all. Very simple people. Very great devotee. So Narottam, who was actually a prince, he was a prince born in a royal family. But he knew that my Guru is Lokanath Swami. So Lokanath Swami said, no, I'm not qualified. Nobody can be my disciple. I'm making a long story short. I am not qualified. Please, you are a prince and I am the least qualified. I'm just a beggar. I'm a nobody. But it has been told already by Lord Chaitanya and by everybody in the line that your Guru is Lokanath Swami. So he was very determined to somehow or the other get the mercy of Lokanath Swami. So you know what he did? He never said anything when he said refused. It's okay. What he did is, I am a very proud person. That's why I'm not able to get the mercy and attention of Lokanath Swami, my eternal Guru. I must purify myself. So Lokanath Swami had a small toilet constructed out of mud walls and a little small tank on the side made out of some brick, some water. There he would pass stool. Then he would clean it up sometimes and then go to the next place and he'd take his bath. All his own small, simple things, but grass, covered with grass and this and that. A very elderly sannyasi person. He was doing everything himself. So Narottam Das would come when he is not actively present here. he would take all the stool and urine and clean it, make the place very clean, the bathroom, the toilet, the pathways, and the other place he was staying in, water all the flowers and plants and everything, and make the whole place clean, and then disappear without Lokanath Swami seeing. But Lokanath Swami is not observing anything. Then one finds, he said, everything looks very different. My place is not like so clean always. I know how I keep it, but looks very clean. My bathroom, my toilet. Somebody is doing something here. Then he noticed it. Then he was not noticing it because he was absorbed in Krishna. Then he came to notice that somebody is doing this. Who is that who's doing this service for me without asking me? So he hid and watched. Then he saw Narottam crying and washing. My dear Lord, please inspire Lokanath Swami to give me his shelter, his blessing. He was crying and cleaning. I am so impure. I am so dirty. He will not even look at me. He will not consider me. And he was really crying, very eagerly praying to Krishna and cleaning the toilet, cleaning the stool, cleaning the urine, cleaning everything and cleansing. That was so purifying for Narottam Das. His service was so pure, so sincere that Lokanath Swami got completely moved. This person, a prince, used to a very royal living, high class. He's cleaning my stool and urine. And he's so sincerely doing it. And for so many months he has been doing. And he got inspired. How can I be without accepting him as my disciple? I'm sure it is Krishna's will. It's his mind changed towards Narottam Anand. Very beautiful story of Narottam. It's a wonderful devotee of Lord Chaitanya who was a very special personality. So he got initiated and accepted by Lokanath Swami. And Lokanath Swami accepted him as Guru. He was the only disciple he accepted because of this situation. So this is a very beautiful story. Actually, I've crunched it a little bit. The eagerness of the disciple to learn and understand Krishna is very important. And the great feeling of the Guru, yes, I want to give this eager, sincere disciple knowledge. You see, he's interested. So this is the way that colleges and schools would run. There will be a nice Brahmana, Guru, sage, saint, sannyasi, and many students under him willing to learn. And there is no money involved, nothing. Their parents will say them, go to so-and-so Patashala, under so-and-so Guru. You are going and learning. That's all they know. And in his graduation time, it is called something, I forget, what is it called? At the graduation time, he will bring from home some rice, some woven cloth, some bananas as dakshina. It will be given to the Guru's wife if he is a grahastha, and the wife will accept it and cook something nice and feed all the boys, and feed all the boys with it. And they'll all happily eat. For them, the Guru's mother, Guru's wife is like mother. She'll also treat them like that. And there was such a close relationship in the whole situation that the learning occurred under such good cultural situation. And it was highly conducive for transference of knowledge about Krishna. Right? So this was the favorable condition. Nowadays in Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to reintroduce that type of an atmosphere and ambience for learning. It's not so easy. But the Lord himself appeared as Krishna, and he showed that the same thing can be done. He also accepted a guru, Sandipani Muni. I've gone to that ashram in Ujjain. If you go now to Ujjain, you can see Sandipani ashram, where Krishna and Balaram learned, and also Sudama was a student. The famous Sudama, Kuchela. He was a student. And I've gone there. There's a beautiful place and a pond and everything where Krishna learned the 64 arts along with Balarama, about debate, about poetry, about painting on pots, about that, this, every type of skill and kala and arts, philosophy, everything they learned under Sandipani Muni. And it was so wonderful. He was so wonderful a student that everything they learned very fast. They were two good students, both of them. And Sandipani Muni and his wife were very pleased with them. Very, very pleased with them. That once they would go into the forest, Sudama and Krishna, to get firewood, and they will get lost. And there'll be a storm and everything. And they will hide in the hollow of a tree somewhere. Then in the morning, Sandipani Muni will go in search of them. And then he will find them out and they'll bring them, and said, how dedicated a servant of the Guru you are, that you even took austerity to stay out the whole night in the cold, in the breeze, in the rain, and you have done your duty and your service. And the Lord will glorify Krishna for being such a wonderful student. And then when he graduating, Sandipani will discuss his mother, these two students are not ordinary students. They can do something wonderful for us. What do you want from them? And then she will tell that I want my lost sons, and that will be he will ask, what shall I give you as a thing? He said, my wife wants her sons back. It's a big tale. And then he'll say, yes. And he and Balaram would go to nether regions, to Yamaloka and all of them, and get the son back for this thing, because they can do such a wonderful Guru Dakshina, not ordinary money, guinea and all that. So they did that and pleased the Guru very much, right? And Sudama, it seems, they were teaching Vedas and Upanishads and the Supreme Brahman, everything. All the time he was only looking at Krishna's face throughout the class. Because what Supreme Brahman is sitting here, why I have to learn about Supreme Brahman? He is here. I should simply look at him. He is the Supreme Brahman. He was so attracted to Krishna that he would keep on. And then it was graduation time and they had to leave. Sudama will hold Krishna and cry. I don't want to go from here. Actually, I want to be with you. And he'll say, no, we will meet again. We will meet again, definitely. I'll come and see you, like that. And he'll console him. And he will go back. And Sudama will, a very poor Brahmin family, and he will have 24 children, and his wife will be so bereft. That other story that comes up very nicely. And he'll come back and see Krishna in Dwarka with Rukmini in his palace and get blessed. That's another big story. But the point is that they all studied in the school. They related with the Guru. Even Krishna went through what he's telling here. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashyena seveya. He did service to the Guru in a menial way, collecting firewood from the forest and bringing it, doing the yajna, homa, everything. All these things was done by the Lord himself to set an example for everybody. So the thing is not that today you must go to the forest and collect wood and come and set the house on fire or something. It's not for that. That idea is that principle and that mood for knowledge to get transferred. And if you serve sincerely like that and understand this truth, then yad jnatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi Pandava. What is the result of that learning is that never again will you be illusioned. And you will see that everything and everybody in this world is a part and parcel of Krishna. This is the great result of being under a Satguru, a true Guru. You will be able to see everything in connection with Krishna. You will be able to see anybody and everybody. Pandita Samadarshanaha, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavihastini, Sunichaiva Supakecha, Pandita Samadarshanaha. You will see everybody is connected with the Supreme Lord. Everything is connected with the Supreme Lord. All his energy. And you will learn to be Krishna conscious. So this learning, which Krishna is talking about in the 4th chapter, transcendental knowledge, will pave the way for you to become Krishna conscious. to pave the way for you to see Krishna everywhere and become absorbed in love of Krishna. This is the result. Not that by getting blessing from Guru, you'll get the lottery ticket and you'll get millions of dollars. Or not that by blessings of Guru, you get this particular contract so they can come and give him 10%. Not that by blessings of Guru, your competitor will go down and you will come up. Not that by blessing of Guru, you'll get a beautiful wife who is very obedient to you. Beautiful and obedient. This is what all men are looking for. No rising up against me. Whatever, beautiful lady and very obedient. Not that by blessing of Guru, you'll get somebody like that. Not that by blessing of Guru, you get a wonderful husband who's working with Bill Gates, and earning billions. None of these things are the real blessings. Real blessing is that you become a devotee of Krishna. That is what a Guru's real blessing is. And you will develop your love for God and get out of this world and go back to Godhead. That's what Guru is for. Guru is for taking you from this situation to the liberated devotional situation. Not that Guru is supposed to keep you here only and shift you from one place to the other and give you some material blessing. He is material Guru. He'll also be born along with you, and next lifetime you will become his Guru. That's all, no big difference. It's all material Guru, no, it'll all shift and turn. This lifetime I'm your Guru, next lifetime I'll become your Guru. Just you wait. I'll show you that time. This is what happens. They're so silly. And the things that they learn and the things that they talk is not at all anything high class. It's all some low class, and the gurus and all become great, very well learned, and they pass comment on Covaxin and vaccines and the COVID and the problems we have and what is wrong with the government, and such guys become great gurus. They are garus. Bhaktivedanta Sri Thakur said garu means cow. So we can understand from Bhagavad Gita what is the real essence of a genuine teacher and what is the meaning of a genuine school. What is the meaning of genuine education and how you should spot that and understand it and go for it and get it somehow or the other in your life. Otherwise, your life will be a failure. Om Tat Sat, Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki. Any question or comment? If you have any question or comment. Oops. Okay. Haribol. Oh, there's some question. Nanda Kumar Ji, KKD. Pranam, Krishna and Sudama were got lost in the forest when the great storm came. Since Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what was the reason behind that they were spent entire night in the forest? Well, what is the intention of Krishna is very difficult for anybody to know. Your question says, what is the intention? Bhishma Dev tells the Pandavas lying on the bed of arrows, and Krishna is standing there, and he has engineered this whole meeting of the Pandavas with Yudhishthira meeting with the Bhishma. At that time, Sarvam Kalam Kritam Manye. Everything is actually, time is the reason for all these things happening. Because Yudhishthira was very morose after the war. He said, so many people died because of me. He said, you should not feel that. And he consoled them. Then he said that, what is Krishna's next plan? Nobody knows. Only he knows. Nobody knows. And that same Krishna has come and standing in front of me today here. I've been lying on the bed of arrows. He has got a plan. He has got a service for me to do, I know. Otherwise, why is he keeping me alive on this bed of arrows? Everything is because of him. He has a plan. And sure, Krishna had a plan. Krishna did not want to counsel Yudhishthira himself because he was cousin brother. He was a little familiar, and he thought the best way to have more effect is to let Bhishma speak to them. They value Bhishma as grandfather, and he is my dear devotee. He knows what to tell them. So he engineered this meeting, and it happened. And Krishna was watching all the instructions given. And one of the instructions given by Bhishma is that this person standing here with this beautiful kiridam and this wonderful smile and that wonderful form, he is the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, the reason for everything that's happening. But it is so amazing that he's standing here because he knows I am going to leave. And because I am his unflinching servant, he has come to give me his darshan before I leave the body. I have done my service. So beautiful a chapter. And then the Bhagavatam says, that man who spoke millions of things and did great amount of services and played a vital role in the whole part of Krishna's pastimes, finally closed his eyes, ended his chapter looking at Krishna fully and absorbing himself in him. So there, Bhishma tells nobody knows his plan. So if you ask me, what was the intention? Why did he go to the forest? Why did he get lost? Generally, we can say this is Krishna's Leela. It is his pastime. We can get to know what he desires only after it has happened. So here, he went actually on the bidding of his guru, carry out the order of the guru. Shamitpani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. He is supposed to get Samitpani wood for the sake of doing yajna. So the brahmachari disciple will simply go austerely to the forest, cut the wood, bring it in a bundle nicely, hand it over and make arrangements for the sacrifice, start the fire, do the mantra, everything, and the guru will come and do. So he's simply a servant of the lowest order. So Krishna was showing how to be a disciple. And that is what Sandipa Muni recognizes. And there's a beautiful conversation of Sandipa Muni with Krishna, glorifying the guru, glorifying the disciple. So that is the real intention, to show a genuine guru, Sandipa Muni, to show a genuine disciple, Krishna himself. And so that in future we all understand how to render service. That is the general intention. There may be deeper intentions. Some people say something that many other things, they got lost in the forest and something he had with him for eating and it was not given to Krishna, something. No. I don't know. I don't want to go into those details. But generally speaking, this is it. Okay? Right. Sadanandini Vasudha Devi Dasi. Please clarify, if we chant more rounds, are offenses nullified, or does Krishna give knowledge to come out of offenses? Thank you. Sundara Murari Das. Okay, both of them together. Well, yes, the cure for offensive chanting is to chant more. That is mentioned. And it's not that the offenses get nullified, you become offenseless. You become offenseless. And gradually, by your devotional service and everything, the offenses are also absorbed. Krishna also gives you knowledge, definitely. Knowledge is being given to you constantly on how to avoid offenses. That is the realization given to you. By chanting Hare Krishna only, you know about offenses. By chanting Hare Krishna only, you know how to get out of offenses. By chanting Hare Krishna only, you can get out of the offenses, finally. So it's called the offensive stage, the clearing stage, and the Shuddhanama stage. Sometimes for some people, this period is longer. Sometimes this period is longer. Sometimes that period is longer. Whatever, according to each person's situation, circumstance. Yes, true. The more we chant, the more sincerely we chant, the more deeply, humbly we chant. Trinadapi sunichena taruriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Lord Chaitanya told us, put this shloka around your neck as a mala. Keep it always there. What is that? Humbler than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. In that mood, you should chant without desiring any respect from anybody, but willing to give respect to everybody. These four things, remember. Humbler than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, not desiring any respect, but willing to give respect to everybody. These 4 things constitute the mood for creating offenseless chanting. So sometimes it may take a little time. It does not matter, whatever. We should do it because there's nothing better to do in this world. Naam bina kichu nahi ko ara chauda bhuvana maje. In all the 14 worlds, there is nothing more treasurable and precious than the chanting of the holy name. Okay? Right. I hope that helps you. Devaraj Kandaswamy, will Krishna provide basic needs of us? Yes. For his devotees, definitely. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. He's saying, I'll preserve what you have and I will give what you don't have so that you may come to me. So whatever is required for your life, for a devotee's life, he will provide. And if you're not getting it, it is because he's purposely not providing it. And there must be a reason for that also. So accept whatever Krishna does for you. And Krishna is very kind towards his devotees. He loves his devotees. And whatever you go through is for your good. You will know that only in the end. Just like a child may get whacked by his mother once in a while, disciplined. Many times she will hug him and kiss him and play with him and very happily associate with him. But quite a few times she may give him a few whacks here and there for doing the wrong thing. And the child may get angry also as he grows and he fight back with his mother and all that. And at a certain time, the child will actually stop, the mother will stop doing anything to the child, but become a very good friend of the child. And then he grows and then he will understand my mother actually is a great lady. Has made a great sacrifice in bringing me up. She gave me the right instructions. She gave me a whack when I did wrong. Because of that, I'm a better person now. She corrected me, took interest in me. So like that, we know that Krishna will also sometimes put you in situations because he's interested in you so that you will learn. So all these things are gifts of Krishna for a devotee. And he is willing. And many times Krishna will also provide you with all your material requirements. It is all devotees' experiences in the Krishna consciousness movement. It is definitely my experience that all my needs and the needs for my devotional service are provided more than necessary by Krishna. That I know for sure. I can tell you that my experience is a proof of it. Okay, Devarajji. Shailaja Kulkarni, an astrologer, says, I have done some offense to my guru in my previous birth. How can I come out of this, Maharaj? I am an initiated devotee. Somehow I am not able to meet my guru, yours, and please guide me. Why did you go to astrologer? If you are initiated devotee, it means you have greater faith in the astrologer. And why are you allowing the astrologer, going to the astrologer and allowing him to say things to you which you are getting confused with? In your previous life, you have done some offense. Oh, everybody has done some offense in the previous life. Otherwise, why are you here? If you have not done offense in the previous life, you should be in the spiritual world. No? It's not a great thing to look into my horoscope and say, I can say everybody here in the material world has done some offense. That's why they're here. Do I become a great astrologer by that? It's nothing very great. These are all normal behaviors of conditioned souls. And you're worried about it. He said, I've done some offense. Of course, everybody has done offense. Of course. You don't have to worry about it. In fact, you should just meet your guru and tell, this is what I have been told by the astrologer. If at all you want to. I don't think I will take that very seriously because it's just a general statement. Everybody has done offense as far as I know. Yeah, so it's just a general statement. It's not only for you. If you go and look into everybody's horoscope, you'll have something like that. So don't have to worry much about it. You should chant Hare Krishna sincerely. Hear the Bhagavad Gita, be in the association of devotees. Try not to put too much faith in these things. Astrology, of course, definitely required if you're a grahasthini and certain things you need to get to know from an astrologer. Very good. But it is not that you should allow certain type of consultancy, especially from mundane astrologers outside too much. If it's a devotee astrologer, then okay, you can commute that and you can convey that to your guru, and guru you can take advice. That's the best thing to do. Okay, Shailaja? Right. Because I don't know your initiated name. You said Shailaja Kulkarni. Venugopal Trimurti. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept, etc. My inquiry is how to understand the mind, mood, or desire of one's Guru Maharaj and serve. Sorry to refer high-level examples. Srila Rupa Goswami understood mind of Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada understood the mood of his Guru Maharaj and written poem in one of the Vyasa Puja. It pleased him. Srila Prabhupada established ISKCON, preached in Western countries, etc. Likewise, many souls which enter Bhakti Yoga internally feel about this inquiry of how to understand mood of his Guru Maharaj and serve. What character or attitude the Bhakta should raise to understand this. Mostly the Guru Maharaj in Prabhupada's movement will be interested in satisfying the desires of the founder Acharya, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. That will be the mood. And if you have any specific inquiry, you can go and ask the Guru Maharaj, how can I serve you? I am interested in doing the following things, but do you want me to do anything specific? And you can ask him. Why speculate on what is your mood? Go and ask him directly what service I can do. Don't try to be, no, I should know it like Rupa Goswami knew. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale, like that I should. No. Just be plain and straightforward. This is Kali Yuga. Prabhupada himself wrote a letter to Bhaktan Sri Thakur. I am one of your disciples, a Grahastha. All your sannyasi disciples are doing so many wonderful things for you. Please, how can I serve you? He asked in a letter. That letter is there. And Bhaktan Sri Thakur wrote him, if you get money, print books, you go to the Western world and preach in foreign lands, you preach in English language, you're good at it. That's the instruction he gave. And Prabhupada did it. That's all. Be simple, straightforward. If you feel like asking like that, and you feel, normally speaking, most gurus will be happy if you're engaged properly as per Prabhupada's instruction, distributing the books, preaching to people the Bhagavad Gita, making them devotees, helping them to chant Hare Krishna, helping in the congregation, helping in the temple construction, helping in the puja, helping in some fundraising, helping in collecting people together for festivals, conducting the festival, managing. All these things are service. And the guru will normally be happy if you're engaged in some service specifically like that. And if he's got anything specific, he may call you and tell you. If not, it is fine. Or if you feel that I should go and ask him what he wants me to do, go and write a letter to him, talk to him, and this thing, and he will tell you what to do. Or he will tell you, so-and-so person who is the temple president or the sannyasi or the zonal secretary or the senior person, you ask him, what is he requires to be done in that area? You do that. That's all. Okay. I hope that is useful to you, Venugopal Tirumurti. Pranay Srinivasan, how to qualify ourselves as a good devotee. If you read the Bhagavad Gita and the Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will see examples of many, many good devotees. And you can get inspiration from there, number one. Number two, in real life, you take the association of devotees who are seriously engaged and who are serving Krishna throughout, and you'll get inspiration from them. And you can also qualify yourselves to do services under them, and gradually the qualities of devotees will manifest. And that's what the Shastra says. Okay? Pranay Srinivasanji. Right? Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Take care. Be careful. Chant Hare Krishna and learn to love Krishna. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.